morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here and we're dusting ourselves off after yesterday and we're getting right back at it. Again, the birds have been nesting in my hair, so apologies. Need to get myself to the old butchers or the barbers, depending on who you ask. Go and get the barnet sorted, but we're back, guys. We're live today for the latest transfer season live stream we're doing, where we're looking at the latest transfers that have went on in the January transfer window. And we did this stream last Tuesday, and on the Wednesday, Sorare revealed some new faces cards or some transfer cards. So we moved the stream to Wednesdays so we can catch that as well. And that's pretty much what we'll be starting off with. But fist bump on arrival to everyone that's joining us live and loud today on YouTube and on Twitch. Let it be known in the live chat that you're here, live and loud, of course. And we'll get the comments out on screen, of course, as well. Boyce and Johnny TH, good to see you. Charlie Dunbar, my man, Mikey Basson, Shaforko, good to see you. And Sorare Borough. And I hope to see many more of yous as we get through the show today, because there's been a lot going on in the last week of transfers. Looking buff. Glad you think so, mate. Glad you think so. Don't know why, but if I do, cool. Love it. So this is the post that went out a few hours ago, and we had... Do you know, I thought Bryce Samba was actually in last week's, but maybe it wasn't. But the headlines alongside Bryce Samba is Seb Haller at Utrecht, Nick Galicic at Dinamo Zagreb, and Mika Biereth at Monaco. And when we click on this, they've got a nice little filter where they take us straight into the Mercato, right into the market, and we can see who is up and listed already. Ruben Vargas actually moving to Sevilla. That could be a fun wee move. Bryce Samba, yeah, I suppose he had Lons cards already, didn't he? So I was going to say the jersey number, the card number might have thrown us there. Not a new signing, Quinny, but Xander Clark signed a 2-year contract at Hearts. Okay, well, we need to get that handcuffed then, don't we? Kid from Spurs just went to Aberdeen, got cards. Nice, by the way. I think he could be really good. We've seen a lot of guys in the SPFL that come on loan from these high-end English academies doing so well. You only look at the Dundee goal scorer last night, Adewumi, on loan from Burnley. Looked very, very handy at that level, certainly. And these are all the other cards that have came out now. I must admit, some of these guys and some of these transfers are new to me, as it were. Not a lot of these names in the top row. Julio Soler, actually, that's a really fun one. Under 23 wonder kid type fullback that's come into Bournemouth, and he might be a card that might be similar to Dean Housen. Maybe he doesn't quite come in and play right away, but when he does come in, you know, this is in Argentina or whatever, some international utilities here as well. I think this is under 23s or something, it must be, age group stuff, Olympics maybe. So he's actually got a nice little SO5 track record there, so that could be a fun one. Andrew Fisher, the goalkeeper, the third goalkeeper in the St Johnstone equation, he gets his cards. Kai Andrews, a 17-year-old guy from Wales at Motherwell, that's an interesting one. I wonder where he's came from. Aaron Donnelly, who did well last night for Dundee, Northern Ireland International, he gets his first cards as well, and he's okay, isn't he? Not really too great, but he's been fine. So yeah, one or two ones there from Scotland, of course. This guy has been around for a while, hasn't he? Didier Lamkelzee. Joshua Akampong here for Chelsea, getting a wee rookie card. Jakob Brun Larsen, we see him at Stuttgart. There's that Christopher Tobers, the Latvian international that Aberdeen have signed, and we can see his scores actually from when he was in Switzerland and maybe some international stuff. He didn't do too great, did he? But Aberdeen might be better, because I think Grasshopper's been pretty mince, so maybe not a good team for clean sheets and all that kind of thing. Hassa for the Napoli, fine. Who else do we have here? There's the Haller. We've got a Mechelen Welsh, that's quite fun. Sidney van Hooijdonk at Breda, that's interesting. And then I don't know, is there anyone else? It's really, there's Francic, we spoke about him last week moving to Zagreb. That's the first issue for him in season. And Galicic billing at Napoli as well. And Riedel, that's actually one I fancy getting, by the way. And Leipzig Baku, that could be fun. Wonder what it goes for. 16 hours left, maybe see if we get a wee transfer kitty. But that's one that I would be certainly interested in. Vargas, Sadiq Fofana, it's a new one on me. German defender. There's the Biereth, obviously, at Monaco, which is fun. A Japanese guy comes into this. I don't know why. Maybe he's returned to his team or something. Any wonder kids? There's that Jensen guy. Is that him? He's a midfielder. Oh, they signed him, didn't they, from Sweden? So he won't have an SO5 track record. But Etienne 23 from the Sorare Odyssey has been telling me that this guy profiles like super well. It should be very, very good in this league. So a bit of a blind punt. If you have an Aberdeen collection, easy one to make, alongside the Alfie Dorrington, who very much could be an up-and-comer, played in the Premier League once already. And I know Tottenham have been kind of dire straits, but well fancied in that regard, you would say. We've also got Calvin Ramsey coming back to Scotland. He's got Kilmarnock cards here, which is fun for in-seasons. Max Aaron's getting a Valencia card. I could get one of them. Yeah, I could definitely get one of them. That'd be fun. And I think we're back onto duplicates, aren't we? So that's fine. So that's quite cool, isn't it? Let me know. Sakamoto moved to Westerlo. This guy. So this is technically his in-season card. They maybe made a boo-boo with that one. But great catch up. Let's see what the chat is saying to it. Not a new signing. Oh no, I've seen that one. Kid from I've seen that too. Of course, the kid from Stroop Graz scored on his debut. Oh, did he? Stroop Graz guy. What page was he on? First page maybe. I seen Wayne Hennessy there. Where the hell did he move to? Stroop Graz. Where's the Graz guy? Scored on his debut, you say? Stroop Graz. You're talking about Beerif? His Monaco debut, maybe? Yeah, must be him. That's cool. Samba's transfer only got ratified last Wednesday evening. Interesting. What's up, Quinny? Bergwijn beats, good to see. Or Bergwijn beats, Red or Dead, good to see as well. Alex Coombs, of course, Northern Sports Cards, FF Thinker, Apocalypto, good to see you all. What's up, Quinny? Long time no see. Ugo Rosso, Nero. Oh, there you go, my man. New account and everything. Good to see you. Good to see you, my man. And Ugo. There was another memory came back to me there for you, buddy, but it's just falling out the back of my head again. I think Andrew Fisher, the goalkeeper, was at Swansea at one point recently. Interesting. And Beerif, yeah, we mean Beerif, of course. Excellent. So we can have a wee look at the transfers we've had. Now, we left off last January 7th, and I remember looking at Jalen Neal, Emma Boateng. So we might not have caught all of the ones on the 7th because it was a midday stream. So I just thought we would start here. And yeah, Julio Soler, we might have caught him as well on last week's show. We've also got Luis Felipe, returning back to Champion Euro, by the way, back to Marseille from Al Ittihad. And he was okay, wasn't he, in Serie A? He could do quite well in France. Maybe adds into a little bit of rotation issue for Marseille. Let's go and have a wee look at him. Because Marseille are one of these kind of fun champ stacks I think some people play with. A tenner. And like, he could be good. Let's see what Saudi's done to him, but he could be fine, couldn't he? No win seasons, classic only. At this stage, let's see next week. Anyone else really grab us? And again, anything that you guys are excited about, like Assane Diao, by the way. I seen he scored against AC Milan on his first start, of course, but I need to double check. I think Milan, Como went 1-0 up thanks to Assane Diao. Really happy he's hit the ground running there. Like, came off the bench against Lazio, start against Milan, and did pretty well. But yeah, the assist for this came from someone else we might see in the show today, who I also picked up, Maxence Kakere. Got on at half time, it looks like. 45 minutes of play for him. Must have come on for Stravezza. And pulling the strings, set up our wee boy Diao to get his first goal, put Como in the lead. And that's a move I was excited about, because having watched Diao, like, he's well talented and in the right team, SO5 wise, could work out very well, very easily. And yeah, quite excited to see he's hit the ground running there. Scuffy is coming on loan to Napoli to sit on the bench. Pulido has went to Chivas. Now, Pulido is an interesting one, right? Because Pulido, like, he can't be fit ever, can he? That's kind of part of his problem. But he's very good. Like, very, very good. Like, too good for MLS when he's fit. But as you can see, huge periods of absence here. And then SKC have been, like, back here, SKC were really good. And then they've just been meh. He's been in and out of the team. He is older. He has suffered those battle scars or injuries and whatever. But if he stayed fit and stuff like that, like, Pulido could be, like, a very viable forward card. No two ways about it for me. Mexico is a bit of a step up in some regard to MLS, but not in others. So, low fee, horrible transfer history. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, Fisher on loan at St Johnstone from Swansea. That does actually put a wee bit more credibility into him maybe maintaining the number one spot all of a sudden, because Josh Ray and Sinclair, like, I think Sinclair had a good rep last year. Josh Ray's had a lot of minutes and had a wee bit of promise, but I sent it to Harry Trades. I seen a St Johnstone fan. Wonder if I can find it. No, it'll be too buried. Me and Harry were talking too much last night. But it was a St Johnstone fan on Instagram or TikTok, and it was like they reported a post of Josh Ray pretending to be falsely claiming to be a goalkeeper. So maybe it felt like the writing was on the wall for him to be replaced. There's a few free agents here coming out of Grasshopper. Manzaro Negri, not the Negri we know, but he's went to San Diego from Miami. Ever Valencia. That's not the one we want. That's Enner, isn't it? And this is still back to the 8th of January, so we've got like a week to go through. There's that Didier Lamkelzee coming back from Turkey to Belgium. Kai Andrews. Let's open this in a new tab. He's on loan from Coventry. That's like, when you see guys like that coming up to Scotland, like they could be handy, couldn't they? So let's see. Wales under 19s, he's got some caps. And for Coventry, a few senior appearances, nothing to write home about, and he's already half featured for Motherwell. And I think in this time, Lennon Miller has been somewhat injured. So it might not be a great reflection on his role in the team overall. Or if he has set pieces, maybe he'll lose them when Miller returns, that kind of thing. Miller, sorry, rather than this guy, sorry. Or maybe he had cards before. But yeah, he's not coming in and lit the world on fire. Interesting, but generally guys of that stature can do well in this league. Lucas Martinez Quatra, that move is signed, sealed, and delivered. And this is a good one, guys. This is a really good one for SO5 purposes. I sold my Quatra Super Rare the other day. We did a wee video about it. And by the way, how happy am I that I did actually buy SPFL keepers rather than that in-season Super Rare that would have been redundant in 6 weeks. Very is the answer to that. But Quatra is 28, has had some injuries, won the Copa Libertadores with River Plate before. Do we have old River Plate scores, I wonder, by the way? Oh, we do. We only have 4 of them, but Jesus, look at this. Look at this. Contender Buscagli, that's what I'm saying. And at Fiorentina, like, for the most part, like, in Serie A, he's been an absolute titan, just never nailed in. Maybe an injury problem here or there. Maybe he's got an odd error and a red card in him once in a while. But Argentinian defenders, that's what you get, man. But as long as they can do this kind of stuff, he's a titan, absolute titan. I've got a signed Martinez Quatra shirt in here, so I'm a bit biased, but really excited for that move. And I think that will be a great SO5 addition. We've also got Daniel Fusato moving to Vasco da Gama. That's really interesting. Let's look at the Vasca squad, if we can. On this, no, I don't think we can on this. Let's maybe go on to Sorare data, because Fusato has been playing and stuff over his career, not as much as I'm sure he would want, but we're talking about La Liga 2 and stuff. Oh, they've got Leo Jardim. Yeah, it's maybe a backup play then, isn't it? Because Jardim is like a decent keeper. He has Leo cards, doesn't he? So that could be a backup situation. Is Jardim contracted to them until end of calendar year? So maybe a succession plan thing on the go. Interesting. Fusato's maybe got another lease of life. We'll show you Fusato just for context. He's okay, isn't he? But formerly of Roma, formerly of Getafe, and 1 or 2 other clubs. He's been passed about all over Europe as a backup keeper. Eibar, Getafe, Ibiza is where he got the majority of his games. Roma, Gil Vicente, of course, in Portugal as well. So he can be okay, but he's not great, is he? So again, if you've got an interest in Brazil, perhaps that backup keeper might be one for next season, or maybe even a surprise package for this year. I'll be interested to see this little Celta Vigo guy. Always interested in guys that come out of Norway into Champ Euro. Sometimes they can just work out pretty well with being an unknown player. So I don't mind that one. That's an interesting one to watch out for. Any other names really jump out at us here? Maybe not too much. Let's see what you guys are giving it in the chat. There's a bunch of you joining us live and loud. Good to see you. Got him from Swansea, been out injured for a while, done okay on his debut. Ian says on that St Johnstone goalkeeper. Bit late joining, 3rd day of live, Quinny. What a treat. Thanks very much, James. I'm glad you think so. Feeling any different about the update? I recorded a digest of it that will be out as soon as it's edited. Really, I'm just going to flip the switch on it while it's kind of pertinent, while it's relevant. I don't really feel too different. I do, like, again, anything that I'm somewhat like negative around or upset around doesn't really affect me too much, really. I'm actually quids in, I think, from a lot of the changes, so I'm not, it's a funny one. Veroni going to Montreal, Oh, that Aaron Donnelly has came from Nottingham Forest. I didn't realise he's only just joined them, by the way. I felt like he'd been there for a while. I'm pretty sure I looked at him last night after we played them, and he'd been, yeah, pictured as well. I seen the picture and assumed he had cards. Obviously, he didn't. But he's been there for this season. Yeah. Maybe that move's just been made permanent or something. Interesting one. So I don't feel terribly different. I've just tried my best and I think I was just more annoyed listening to Sean than I was actually the announcement itself, because like Sean was just so contradictory on himself, like for some parts of it, and that's why I was like not shouting but putting caps just to make sure, because the chat was busy. I was just putting caps on just to make sure my comment was seen more than anything. But yeah, it was just very much. It wasn't an analysis. It was just his point of view. You know, it wasn't like this is what it means for the division. This isn't what it means for the realm, or whatever. So I was just really annoyed listening to Sean, to be honest with you. Galatasaray have approached Villa for Diego Carlos. Interesting. And I think with who did they sign? It was a defender they brought in, Mingueza. I don't know if that actually. Maybe they, you know what Villa are like. They're very much on the edge of PSR stuff, aren't they? So they're always horse trading players in and out. So Diego Carlos is probably on a fair wage. You know, he was quite a big signing at the time, if I remember rightly. Mini-Me, good to see you. Fisher will be number one. Sinclair will go on loan. Interesting, Ian. Any nudge on where he's going on loan? Finally, another viable Jupiler forward within season. Huerta from Pumas has moved to Anderlecht. L15 of 66. Don't think we've seen him on the list. He might have been in that new faces thing, but it's not a name I know, so I would have certainly missed that. But yeah, he's just got new cards. Interesting. 24 years of age, big juicy contract. And in Mexico, he is a cooker, isn't he? Ooh. Yeah, he is a cooker, isn't he? So if you're after Charlie, that could be good, by the way, isn't it? Oh, guys, you know what happened to me, by the way? I played Lucas Nemeka at the weekend, and he DNP'd on me. I thought, oh, don't tell me he's had another injury. Big man comes back last night against Mönchengladbach, gets 2 goals off the bench. Anderlecht gave me a wee vibe, so I've got a Anderlecht Nemeka card, but maybe Lucas will be back. I think this Veroni one could be fun, right? Montreal aren't that great for the most part, but one of the things that they're always waiting for Mason Toy to be fit. And this guy's not been great at Revs. He went to Revs when they were the best team in the league, having been good at Sturm Graz, co-owned by Juventus or whatever. He's actually got some okay scores there, a little bit better than I would have thought he would have had, to be quite honest with you. He's been kind of meh, hasn't he? And again, he's played very regularly, very frequently. But maybe the pressure of New England being reigning champions when he went there, and then the manager changes, and there's just been a bit of dirty laundry, it feels like, at the Revs. So maybe that fresh start in Montreal actually could work out quite well for him. Aaron Donnelly we've kind of touched on and spoke about. Bryce Samba got cards. I thought he got cards last week, but obviously had Lons cards anyway. He's now moved to Rennes, already debuted for them and stuff. That's a great move for Bryce Samba holders, I think. Lons have been doing good. They're also a Champions League club at the moment, but I don't think it's going to continue, is it? They're not going to be a Champions League next year. So Rennes not in European football this year, but again, you'd expect him to get back to that after this one. Harry Trades is in the house. Good to see you, my man. Andres Dreyer linked with a move away, so Huerta maybe his replacement. Interesting. And yeah. Jacob Brun Larson, like we mentioned, Hoffenheim to Stuttgart. He was really good at Anderlecht, and I think he was good somewhere else as well. Dortmund. Dortmund's where he came through and he looked lively. So maybe he finally kicks into action. So this Hassa isn't just a guy off the squad that's got a card. He's actually transferred in from Lecce. Now, it didn't look like he had an L15 or anything like that. He had an L15 of 0, I think, didn't he? Luis Hassa. Midfielder. That's just looks like a squad buy, doesn't it? But I've seen it was Lecce's. Maybe he's played a bit. Left winger, left mid type guy. Loic Badiashile. No, it's not the same. Not the same guy. Jesus walks, and he walks all the way from Dallas all the way to Seattle. And guys, we spoke about this on the channel. We've been covering MLS. We did 2 videos, I think, on it, like in December, ahead of time, ahead of the curve. And this could be potentially one of the moves of the summer, because Jesus Ferreira, like on this, does look a bit meh. I get you, but you need to really zoom out and see that this guy, like when Dallas were half okay, and Dallas have never really been half okay, but when they had him and they had a few other decent players that moved to Europe, I can't remember who exactly. They're falling off the back of my head right now. He's taking penalties, he's taking free kicks, AA for days, and he could just catch decisors for fun. And this is a guy that needs a good team around him. And I think going to Seattle, this is just going to be a match made in heaven. And I think the peak Jesus Ferreira is primed to return really this coming season. So that's a huge move for MLS domestically. And I think we could see like a real power forward come out of that move. Leo Chu goes in the opposite direction. Now this guy has actually had a bit of promise about him, a bit of profile, a bit of reputation. And I don't think Sounders were unhappy with him overall. He's been a bit meh, but I think he did start well, didn't he? Yeah, I think he's been... maybe not, actually. Maybe he has been a bit meh. But I remember them being quite excited when they got him. Must have been from Gremio, not long after this little spell at Chiara. So, yeah, that's maybe just a move that hasn't worked out. He goes the other way. Maybe it'll work out for him in Dallas, but... yeah, whatever. Lassie Lapalainen has went from Montreal to Columbus. And this, again... It's not quite the Jesus Ferreira situation, but this is certainly like Columbus getting a good domestic player from a smaller team and you know, absorbing them in. He's currently at no club, so he'll be Red X on Sorare, so you might get him at a bit of a cost price. But Lapalainen has been one of the okay players to have for Montreal for a while. Montreal have been pretty mince, but as you can see, like the guy knows his way around a cross or two, you know, and AA isn't great, but there is a basis there that in a very dominant team like the Columbus Crew, that potential could just be realised if he starts regularly, if he's a kind of missing piece of the puzzle for them, as it were. We're up to the 9th of January. We've still got like another 5 or 6 days of stuff to catch up with. We've got Christopher Tobers, the guy that came from Grasshopper to Aberdeen, we mentioned already. Club Z, good to see you. Did I miss gallery reviews? I've still got the catch up to do, mate. I'm probably going to do that today, mid-afternoon. Around the 4 or 5 o'clock mark, we'll catch up with you and the other guys that were left hanging from last time. Second team of Napoli. Oh, interesting. So that guy's going to go on loan to Bari, the Hassa guy or whatever. What league are Bari in? Are they in Serie B? Marquise, great intel. Yeah, Serie B for Bari. And where are they? Barry for me is always it was Cassano that came through at Barry, wasn't it? Barry's always the Cassano team to me. I'm doing alright. That may be an interesting one, by the way, for Contender. Maybe keep my eyes open on that. And Challenger, Rui Silva going to Sporting can be underrated pickup before his price rises. Should be number 1, Diego Freire. I agree with you there. I think Villa are getting the boy from Seville, Balde. Right enough. I sent that speculation to Laird because I know he's a holder. See the Jungdal to Westerlo. Look, no, who's Jungdal? The Genuino days. That's it. Mikey Basson. Everyone on the Quattro train. Bardi's been released by Trabzonspor. Is that good? Agbadu again. I think this could. The thing with big centre backs like this going to the Prem is some of them can do great, but because the Prem's so kind of volatile. It's not a guarantee. Like Agbadu has been a titan of a centre back in France, and a team that are up against it quite often. I think he'll do really well at Wolves because Wolves are probably going to ask the same job of him, aren't they? But I had the same kind of feeling around Todibo and Lacroix. And Todibo, like West Ham, have been a wee bit more of a basket case, let's say, haven't they? And Todibo hasn't really made that transfer across. Lacroix. At Palace, has he done much better? Yeah. So I think this is the kind of thing you could hope for out of Agbadu. Which isn't bad, certainly. Especially if you're playing Prem. Oh, Emmanuel Ekong is when Red X on is from Empoli. That's a nightmare. Yeah, it's Swedish, so it's not totally unexpected. I don't think Malmo have any more midweeks, do they? Or no, they do. They've got 2 midweeks to go. I don't know if they'll qualify or not. Maybe it's Blue X for him. Randall Leal is loose, and I'm not sure if anyone's picked him up yet. Leal's a fun player. Like, if Leal goes to like a San Diego type team, or like a smaller club where he can be the main guy, I think Leal is like a good MLS player. Like, I actually really liked him at Nashville. You can see he has, this is all Nashville scores essentially. Like, he has like really good potential in him, the Costa Rican. But I don't know if it's Nashville or him. I've not followed it that closely, but he's just kind of fell off the wagon into obscurity, hasn't he? But he's got lightning pace, very nippy. Maybe he's lost a bit of that. It's hard to say. I've not watched him recently enough. But if he will get picked up in MLS. I'm always certain of it. But if he goes to the right club where he's needed, he's going to play all the time. He could be a real sleeper card that could come out of nowhere. Anyone else really grabbing us here? Pulga? No, it's not Pulga. Pedrinho, I think I won his super rare. He has Turkish cards, doesn't he? No, not him. Different Pedrinho. Zelarayan has came back from Red X to Belgrano, back to Argentina. It's hard to know how good Zelarayan will do in Argentina, because Argentina is an absolute different kettle of fish to not only MLS, of course, but where he's just been hiding out, getting some of his cash. So it's hard to know. Do we have... I don't think we have... I think before Columbus he was in Mexico, Zelarayan, so I don't think we have any kind of comparable scores to look at, but he's really good, man. I love Zelarayan, huge fan. This was a big card for me for a long time. I had the very first like big head 1 of 100 Zelarayan, so I've enjoyed all of these scores almost. It feels like love the card, love the guy. Maybe I'll buy one for sentimental purposes, but I'm not sure how well he'll do here. Welsh, I think, could do really well. Mechlin, and I think like the kind of thing for him is the comp is Bates, isn't it? Because Bates went to the exact same team, and generally in Belgium, can we do all-time Jupiler? This is how Bates does in the Jupiler for a few different teams. Obviously, he's at Liège, hardly playing at the moment, formerly of Mechelen. But I think Stevie Welsh can do these scores no problem. Proof is yet to be in the pudding, but I think it's a good transfer. SO5-wise. Bodarters went to Metz. What league are Metz in? Ligue 2? I don't think they're in Ligue 1, are they? Yeah, Ligue 2. I wonder who is their current keeper. So this guy, who's 36, has had the minutes so far. So that could be quite a good one. Bodart's already started. I wonder what Bodart's price is. Is it falling? It's not bad, is it? Do we have in-season copies? We do. In-seasons aren't that bad. I don't really need them anymore. I've kind of got my in-season stuff sorted, but nice to know that option is somewhat there if I want it. So I wouldn't mind Bodart. I think he's quite good for that level. I would hope he would be anyway, at the very least. Let's see. Who else do we have? Gaston Veron. Is that the... No, it's Gabriel Veron, I think I'm thinking of. Gaston Veron isn't that good, is he? Yeah, I don't think he's that guy. I'm thinking Gabriel Veron, I think. Seb Haller going back to Holland should be good, shouldn't it? Really, like this should be like, oh, what's his name? Bas Dost. This should be like Bas Dost situation, isn't it? Or Burak Yilmaz, if you remember when he went to Walwick or whoever it was. Do we have any ratings for Haller in Holland? We've got a wee bit of when he went back to Ajax for a minute, and obviously he was great at Ajax in the Champions League and all that after leaving West Ham. But we don't have anything before that, do we? Utrecht, that will just be now. Obviously West Ham was pretty mince. At Dortmund, yeah, in the middle. But yeah, like an Ajax level, Ajax he can do this. At Utrecht, can he do the same? Hard to say, but I fancy him to do it, by the way. I fancy him to do it. I think this could be a great move if you play that region. Corazza, a right back that's left Bologna for Salernitana. Bobby Adekanye, we know his name from somewhere, don't we? He's went to Ahmed, so that feels like a red X, doesn't it? Didn't Lacroix come from Germany? Yeah, but it's like the same type of guy, you know what I mean? Like, and I know I'm profiling them there, just being on like big strapping French guys. I don't even know if Agbadou is French, you know, but I just feel like similar profile, big stopper, same kind of like bones, you know. Barry's always David Platt for me, pre-Juve, says Mikey Basson. Bellegarde? What are we talking about Bellegarde for? Has he moved? Bodart started at the weekend. Bodart is only on a 6-month loan. They will extend if they win promotion. Nice. If they don't, he's a free agent. Let's scout SRs in season. Gaza, you're at it. Crampy, good to see you, fist bump. And who was I about to check? Who was it that said something in the chat there? Bellegarde. Look at that smile, by the way. It just looks like he's about to. It just looks like he's about to cause it, doesn't he? I don't really know the Bellegarde reference. Sorry, mate. Feel free to get me up to speed. Again, not much here to really write home about. Up here, is there? We're still on the 9th. Plenty to go. But live and loud for half an hour, guys. About 40-50 of you join us on YouTube. Fist bump to you all. But we do need to get the like button up, because if we're having a good time here, YouTube doesn't even know about it. The chat's firing. We're all good, of course. Fist bumps on arrival and all that chat. But we need to smash the like button, guys. Take your phone out your pocket. Change the tab on your screen. Whatever you need to do. Click that little like button. French players to the Prem. Interesting. Boyson, sorry. I missed you on that. Try to stay with defence, because defence is quite a specific kind of area of the pitch SO5 wise, like centre backs, you know, winning duels, winning headers, effective clearances, doubles, that kind of thing. Like, how viable is it? Rusnak looks like he's re-signed. I think he's re-signed as a DP. Don't think we need to really talk about that. Michael Mellon to Bradford. Bradford aren't Championship, are they? And let's see. Yeah, not too much more going on in this little section. Gary Medell. Catalika's covered, isn't it? The Pitbull himself. By the way, I don't know if this will work out for him or not, but it could. How old is he? 37. Interesting one to watch out for. Do you feel like old gold? Joel Schmidt to Cologne from Sion, centre back. Nice. What's your thoughts on Almada to Olympic Lyon? Reckon we get the big bang in scores? I think so. I think France is quite favourable for somebody like Almada. The banging scores will depend on set pieces, I think. So I think you'll get the odd decisive regularly enough. He'll get big chances created. He'll win some duels and stuff like that. But those really big scores need some set pieces and regular decisives. Regular decisives are probably quite possible, but it's hard to know that until he shows up. But I think he will. I think he'll be at Lyon for 2 minutes and Chelsea will buy him or whatever. You can see that happening quite easily, or Brighton or whatever, you know. Let's see. Yaimar Medina has came into Genk. Maybe get his card next week. I don't think he was on that list, was he? Yaimar Medina. Ah, he is there. You could do alright in Belgium. Bit of a punt, but you could do alright in Belgium. I don't think it's out of the question. Especially when they spend 5 million on him. Yeah, I mean, Genk aren't mugs in that sense. They don't throw money about. So he's probably quite well scouted. And they've unearthed a few gems from that part of the world. Ruben Vargas going to Seville. Now, this is one we spotted earlier. And Ruben Vargas, especially if you watch him for Switzerland, like, he's a bit of a talisman type guy, but he's never been that prolific at club football. As you can see, his L15s and L5, like, he can pop once in a while, can't he? But as you can tell from his name, Ruben Vargas, like, I know he's a Switzerland international, but He's certainly more on the Latin side of Switzerland, isn't he? Than the, I don't know, the Germanic or whatever. So moving to Spain might actually suit him a little bit better. He's been fine in Germany, of course, but yeah, Spain might just be better for him. So again, there's not much on the bone to really go with that. Like, he could be fine. I think worst case scenario is kind of the same guys you see here. Best case scenario, some of those sandbags, some of those yellows become like 50s and stuff. So this is an okay one to watch for if you're in that region. A guy from Mulder to Wickham, not sure we worry about that. Antonio Carlos, I don't know if he's got a card already. From Fluminense to Sporting Recife. Lucas Alario is going to Estudiantes, so he's going back to Argentina. Now that actually could be a really good move for him, because Alario was not really, well, Brazil is above Argentina in the pecking order, if you don't really know that in terms of like level of football. And Alario, I think he did better for them in, like, I thought he was scoring for them. It looks like he scored a couple, but yeah, he's not quite Argentina Brazil level, so maybe Argentina will be better for him. That Fox in the box, a tap-in merchant, is only good for 60s really, unless he gets multiple decisives. Edgar Selvik, free transfer goalkeeper, want to watch out for perhaps. Riedel Baku. Now, some of you guys will know, like, I've had a hard on for the German, probably the wrong expression here, right? But following youth European competitions on Sorare has given me an extra appreciation for some of these squads that emerge. And the German under 21s that won Euro under 21, like 2020 or 2022 or whatever, 2020 it probably was, is one of my favourite youth international setups I've seen. Riedel Baku was a big part of that. And maybe can we see, it's filtered Wolfsburg, I want to filter Germany. This is Germany, isn't it? It's not the youth teams. Why? Those youth tournaments were covered, I know they were. Let me have a wee peek at the Mecca. No, I don't think the Mecca might have played some of them. Was it the Mecca? Did I like him up front? And I know Adeyemi was in the team. Yeah. Dorsch. Let's try this. They've been archived. That's why they're not showing up anymore. Interesting. That's annoying. Well, anyway, Baku on one side, David Rom of Leipzig on the other side, Dorsch, Wirtz, Musiala, Adeyemi, Schlotterbeck, Finn Damen was the goalkeeper, and yeah, one or two others. An absolute cream of a crop generation. And Riedel Baku, as we just seen there from even the Wolfsburg scores, I think he was at Mainz before Wolfsburg, wasn't he? But he's been fine, hasn't he? Like, look, that's such a long body of work as well. Quite fine, but there's so many killer scores there. And I think at Leipzig that will turn around. I think we'll get better Baku in a Leipzig setup than we will at Wolfsburg. Because Wolfsburg throughout a lot of this have been quite cut adrift, as it were. I think this will be a good one. Not wildly great. One I'm excited about, because I like Leipzig collections. I like Baku. I'll probably buy this. So yeah, that's a fun one. If you play Bundesliga and you stack Leipzig, I would definitely add them into the fold. Yeah, lots of guys with funny names. Ruslan Makalovsky, not Malinowski. And then we've got that guy. Yeah, he was okay, wasn't he? Lokoshvili. He was okay in, was it Austria? We were talking about him last week, maybe somewhere. Lokoshvili. He's way to Salernitana. Serie B could be good for a guy like this. How did he score? Wolfsberger. Decent enough. Really bad team as well. Lots of defensive actions required. That could be okay. Dallas doing some trading with their B team here. And yeah, a little little bit derelict here. Rog? Is that maybe an extension of the loan? I think Rog was already at Zagreb, wasn't he? Although not playing too often. Yeah. Just maybe renewing the loan or something. Let me catch up with the chat. Is it just me or is the volume super low? I might have the mic too far away from me, mate. Sorry. Just you. Volume's fine. Okay. I feel like Vargas is a Swiss Mason Mount. Doesn't actually do anything, but big teams seem to want him. Yeah, I would go along with that. Different type of guy to mount, but I'm with you on the profiling you've done. They've been really fast with these new cards. Suppose they don't really need photos. Yeah, exactly. Hard on for you famous last words. Yeah, exactly. I had to really stop myself there, didn't I? Kusanov Medical Friday. Interesting. So maybe have him on next week's show for this. But yeah, Enzo Lafitte has actually made a lot of hit. There's that Huerta guy. Enzo Lafitte, only 2 million quid. Those scores, by the way, that's a really good 2 million quid spent. Enzo Lafitte, like somebody said, he could be the best player in championship history. He would have to do a lot to get past Ruben Neves at Wolves. Remember when Juve wanted him? He was captain in Porto in the Champions League and he went to Wolves. Now Enzo Lafitte is a good player. He can be an exceptional player as well. If we look at the Lorient scores, like, very good guy. Very, very good guy. At Rennes, I thought he was decent as well. Yeah, the scores kind of back that up. And then at Roma, it's just been meh, hasn't it? So it could work out super good playing alongside Joe Bellingham, flying high towards the top of the table. Can we see Ruben Neves in the Championship, I wonder? Do we have history for that? Nah, Premier League only. So hard one to completely gauge what it does for SO5, but it could be really good. I think he'll be on a bit of a premium, especially in season. So want to watch out for. I've seen a few guys let us go to Sunderland, but and not really make it or not really cut the mustard. So yeah, proceed with caution, I would probably say, but could be one of those ones where it's jackpot city. Huerta we've already kind of looked at. He is a boss, very good killer. Kaka from Takushima Vortis, 4 million quid to Corinthians. That feels like it must be a good player. No cards. Did Vortis not get cards, or is that another Vortis? It's okay in Japan, wasn't he? Oh no, this is Brazil. He went to Vortis. Sorry, have I read that wrong? No, he's went to Corinthians. Maybe they've just signed him. Maybe it was on loan and then they've made it permanent. Something like that. Oh, Vitinho to International. Now, I think we have Vitinho cards. He feels like a guy that had Shakhtar cards. Where's he coming from? Kiev. Dynamo. Kiev. Rather than Kiev, sorry. And roster. And Vitinho. Andrei Yarmolenko. He's not even here. So who did he transfer to? International. Did they have him already? Maybe it was this guy I was thinking of. I think he's been there already. I'll double check that. Look how many forwards I've got listed. I guess that was just a nobody, so ignore that. Pedro Henrique, Corinthians to Chiara. Not sure about that. Foloroncio has went from Napoli to Fiorentina. That could be okay. Fiorentina are not that exciting in attack, but are they? Isaac Hayden to Portsmouth on loan. I think we'd seen that already, didn't we? Maybe it's just double confirmed. Liam Boyce has went Red X on us. He's went to Derry City from Hearts. So no more Liam Boyces for anyone out there. Sadiq Fafana. So he's coming out of the Leverkusen Academy. That's an interesting one, by the way. International pedigree. 3 senior caps for Togo. Doesn't look like he actually appeared for German youth. Played in Nuremberg already. And Satara. That's a fun one. Let's we've seen him here, didn't we? Sadiq. What's his name again? Is it Sadiq? Sadiq Fafana. I beg your pardon. Fafana we're after. I'm sure we've seen him here. Just at the refresh because it seemed to glitch me there. Maybe they've sold his first card already. Maybe we'll check the limiteds in case. I can just search him obviously, but I want to see the blooming card. Yeah, it's only 1 page here. There was 2 pages before. It's glitching on me. I could have sworn I seen a Sadiq Fafana. Yeah, knew we did. Pavel and Santonio have got the classics sitting there. Let's see what he's made of. See, there's one of his wee caps. Is that all it goes back? No, it must be. Yeah, there is more. So when he's brought on loan, it's been kind of in and out the squad for the most part. It doesn't look like he's went on loan and been like ever present. It's probably going to be better to look at it on Sorare data. That little side scroll thing's a nightmare. Sadiq Fofana. Never really pulled it up, has he? But a youth international that gets senior capped to like the grandfather country or whatever. He's maybe got some promise. Maybe want to watch out for. In Belgium, these guys can come good quite easily, can't they? So yeah, there was that. We've got a guy from Valenciennes making a 5 million move, Kai Sander, to Southampton. That's an interesting one. They need something. So they're spending 5 million quid. He's a defender. Good prospect, I guess. At the age of 18. Under 23 card, perhaps, for when they get relegated. Matthew Craig, Tottenham to Mansfield. Don't think that's a thing. We're coming on the 12th, so we're only a couple of days behind where we're at. Oh, the chat's been running away. I remember wanting him at Dortmund when he was at Lorient. That'll be Enzo Lafay. I think he was quite well linked to Dortmund, wasn't he? I haven't followed too much since, but it's been very attractive then. We paid 23 million for him. Marquise, is that Enzo Lafay? Yeah. He's a few quid, isn't he? Jung Dao, young goalkeeper to Westerlo on loan. Nice. From who? Who owns him? Club. Lafay is back with his old Lorient manager. Oh, that's a lovely detail, by the way, actually. That's a great indicator. Did not know that. That is fantastic. Marmouche deal almost done. Yeah, I can see that happening quite quickly. Tren, good to see you. I'd like you to accept my Schmeichel offer, but fair enough that you didn't. Afternoon, Quinny. Hope all is well. Assets and Sport, thanks for joining me, my man. All is well. He is contender Mikey Cock. I don't know who we're talking about there. Cherky is linked with Atalanta, PSG. Somebody else pretty fun was after him as well. Can't mind, but Cherky's going somewhere good, you feel. You filtered for Challenger. Yeah, who was I looking for that wasn't Challenger? Fafana's Challenger, isn't he? It was just glitching. It was only showing me one page, guys. There should be 2 pages. Or maybe there shouldn't be 2 pages. Maybe I'm just tripping. Cremonese to Westerlo for Youngdahl. Interesting. Our Aberdeen signing is going to make much of a difference? I think so. I think, see the guy Jensen, he profiles really well in Sweden. He's not got an SO5 history. A bit of a blind pick. Could be good. And I think the Tottenham guy could be a brilliant player in SPFL. And would you cry it? Score's been in there, the resident Aberdeen fan, educating the chat as well. Love that. Billington Napoli, I'm not too high on that. Barely see him getting into that team, to be honest with you. Beerif, Christian Arango. Wow, there's actually 2 interesting moves. I think Beerif, like the thing with Monaco, right, is I know Mbolo has been up front with them, right, but Mbolo's not that good, really, like, in terms of top end European football. Like, he's kind of operating at his limit at the moment. In Monaco, previous to him, had Wissam Ben Yedder. Previous to that, had I don't remember who he directly replaced, but they had somebody else just like him. Like I know they brought Balogun in, but somebody else kind of like that. And then before that, guys like Falcao, like they've always had like finishers up there. And that Mbolo isn't really a finisher for me. Like, he's actually having a bit of a decent season here, of course, but overall, I think there's an upgrade to be had there. Beerif feels way more on style, on point for me. Doesn't have the same running power as Mbolo does, of course, but I think he's the finisher that this team kind of needs. So I think this could be a wildly successful transfer if he can make that step up in level. Now, Christian Arango is actually a pretty handy player as well. The thing is, right, San Jose have been a joke team for so long, but with some of the players that they're starting to bring in, like Christian Arango, and I think there was somebody else that they brought in. This is RSL. Millonarios, very good. Pachuca, good enough. LAFC, didn't really work out for him there. They punted him, but he looked pretty good there as well, didn't he? And RSL, pretty good, you know. So I think going back to the West Coast there with San Jose, they've signed someone else decent as a striker as well. San Jose might be at that flip moment where they become a good team all of a sudden because they've had enough good trades over the years for being so crap. Kevin Gamero, great shout, Mikey Baston. Falcao was not right before Ben Yedder. I'm with you there, but or no, maybe you're agreeing with me, I don't know, but I don't think it was right before Ben Yedder, but there wasn't too much distance between. There's definitely somebody else that was in that kind of category of just being an absolute predator, fox in the box. Joseph Martinez, that's who San Jose have signed as well. Now, I'm less excited about Joseph Martinez at San Jose, but Arango could be good, you know, so if you're after differentials in MLS, like San Jose will be overlooked by everyone because they are shit. But if you fancy them to be less shit, could be good. Arambat, free agent. That's not a that's Noradine, not Sofian. Archie Mayer to Motherwell. It's another goalkeeper. I think he's into cover for Oxborough, isn't he? Oxborough's broke his thumb. How long are you out with a broken thumb? No cards for him either, even though he's a Norwich player. Isa Sakamoto, who we've seen earlier. Kakere we mentioned already, so I picked up his card off the back of the transfer because Dial went there as well, and I thought, hey, I've got a Leon collection. I've never owned a Kakere. Kakere is a very so rare OG guy to have a card for, and I'm quite happy with how it started, to be honest with you. I think this guy showed huge potential at Leon over the years, and playing for Cesc is the thing that made me buy him, because I think if someone can get him singing very similar player stylistically, obviously different levels and all that, but I think that could be good. Serie A, there's not too many midfielders you can get excited about. I don't know if I'm excited about it, but I'm optimistic. And then, yeah, we're scrolling through a bunch of no-names, really. I don't think... And again, if I'm missing something, guys, feel free to educate me. If there's a good one here that we're overlooking. Bodo Glimt have bought a guy from Norway. Interesting. I'm sure he'll be linked to Celtic in a couple of windows. And Mary Samuels from Brighton to Dundee. That's an interesting one. Brighton have good players. He has Brighton cards. He has in-seasons that are pretty damn cheap, aren't they? How good will he do? Is he worth picking up? It's kind of hard to know. I've got a lot of Celtic defenders, so it's hard for me to get mad excited about that, but that could be good. Like Owen Beck, you know, like on loan from Liverpool. You know, like these guys do well in Scotland if they're actually good players, you know. Max Aarons, big fan of this. I could get that Valencia card, no bother at all, and it would make me somewhat happy, I guess. I think he's a good player. I think Spanish football could suit him. It's difficult with British players going over there if you know whether to know whether they'll make the adjustment or not. We'll come back to that in a second. The screen's just loading. And there is Hennessy. Yeah. Free transfer to Nottingham Forest. Harry Trades is definitely buying that card. Harry, you still here? How many Wayne Hennessy's do you own? Beerif came in on the cup, got an assist, and then missed a pen in the shootout. Interesting. And Miguel there with the Joseph Martinez confirmation also. And yeah, my computer's in overdrive right now. Who are we wanting to look at here again? I've totally lost my train of thought there. Max Aarons. Had a big reputation at one point. And I think fullbacks like him could do well in Spanish football. Wayne Hennessy, Harry, look at him. Wayne Hennessy, just think about all those Wales caps he's got. Go on, Harry, if you're still here, go and get him. This is the guy we mentioned before, Alexander Jensen, coming from, and this is probably the best place to look at him because we don't have info on Sorare data for him, coming from a non-covered league. Now, he is on as a midfielder, but this is displaying him as a right back. So that will be interesting. Match ratings here against, he's at a pretty minced team, isn't he? Something to go on, I suppose. Shot accuracy 36. Yeah, this feels like more like a midfielder guy than a right back guy, but profiles pretty well. 5 goals in 71 games for this team. Off the back of a pretty good season. Yeah, like this team aren't good, are they? Where did they finish in the league? Can we open them up on a new tab? Yeah. So that could be good. Say profiles really well. I think he's a midfielder card. That may be somewhat cheat coded, by the way. If he has a mid but plays fullback and is like getting a lot of AA going his way. I'm pretty sure I've seen he was a midfielder, but Jack McKenzie's getting linked out of Aberdeen. He's a mid card. He's a mid card. That's a funny one. What else do we have here? Odin Thiago Home going to LAFC. This could be a good one. Again, Thiago Home doesn't actually have that much SO5 history. It's just Odin Home, isn't it, on this? Yeah. But stylistically, like, he could do a really good job for them. Like, LA are a good team, you know what I mean? So he's not needing to carry them. He's needing to slot in and carry the workload. Yeah, we actually get some... We actually do have some Norway here. So, again, not great scores to go off of for the most part. But, like, yeah, this is the kind of best case scenario. I think it could be like an Eli. If we look at Eli's scores, and Atuesta's not there anymore. Like, Atuesta or Puig is, like, the best case scenario. But, like, Eli Sanchez, maybe not necessarily at LA, because I don't think he's always playing in midfield. But if we look at SKC, Same player, of course, same style of play, but SKC is firmly more in midfield. If we look at LA, it changes, yeah, to like midfield based ones. So I know he did play a lot of defence, yeah. Like that's the kind of thing we could see from Thiago Home, like a strong kind of base, has potential to rip AA, has the potential to fluke in with a decisive. So it could be good. In-season cards are available already for Celtic, of course. Calvin Ramsey, again from Liverpool. And I think this could be really good because he's been at Liverpool for a while. He's been at loan with Preston, was it last year? Did get an injury setback. Kilmarnock, a very good defensive team in the SPFL. And he scored really well when he used to be at Aberdeen. Like, really well. Not really much fear that he doesn't do well. Kilmarnock, a good team. He's only going to replicate this type of performance, I think, really, to be honest. And this could be a really good one. In-season cards now open for him. He's under 23. His contract is out in the summer, so this may be a bit of an audition time for him. Who knows where he ends up eventually. But that's a big one. Alfie Dorrington, we spoke about already. He's not really got a history, but I think that could be another one of these examples of someone coming up from English leagues, you know, high level youth academies and doing very well. Guys, we're only on 25 likes. There's about 60 of you here. Can we get to 31? Can we get just another couple of likes? Can we just push over a little bit? Ramsey made of biscuits. Kelly Plastic pitch will destroy him. Interesting. Yeah. Jensen can play both sides. I think he will be left back for Aberdeen. Great insight, score. And winner lineup builders tomorrow, Thursday, for lineup building. That brings us on to the next one, which is James Rodriguez. We also got Maxi Morales signing on, which was great news for me. But James is a card I've wanted for so long, and I got him at the Christmas kind of break when he was like nothing. And people were speculating that Rio were just going to keep him and kill him on his contract, but they've let him out, thankfully. And, you know, Al Rayyan, do we have any history? No. When he went to Sao Paulo, he had a little bit of a good spell, wasn't he? I don't know if he was injured or flaky, but Brazil was a pretty strong league, still doing the business there when he played. Olympiacos, don't think we get any utility out of that. Everton, can we see what he did there? Not too bad at Everton, SO5 wise. Not too bad. I remember on early form he was unreal, wasn't he? And then just went to pot from there, really. Vallecano, barely a kick of the ball. But we're hoping for this guy to turn up, aren't we? This guy to turn up in Mexico. And I'm very hopeful. Very, very hopeful this could work out to be a very good contender in season for me. Maxi's cool. The reason this is cool for me, in case you're new around here, you don't know, Maxi Morales, it's one of my prized possessions of a card. Jersey mint, player edition, signed. He's like the greatest guy in club history. This is the season they won MLS Cup, but I have won next to nothing with this card in the last year I've had it. I got it when he was in Argentina, not really playing, and then since he's been back, he's been good, hasn't he? But he's not always been in teams that have won and done stuff, so I was fearing retirement for him, but fear not. Again, really cheap guy for MLS if he plays, like very, very cheap, good guy. Taishano was okay at Bahia, he's going to Santos, that could be okay. Schmid, somebody mentioned, that could be good. Does he have cards already? Does he have cards already? He's got cards listed now. And here at Sion, he's not bad, is he? And Sion are crap now, I think. Memory serves me right. Maybe we want to watch out for there. Good shout from whoever brought that to our attention in the chat. Love that. Mason Toy, SKC. Maybe a new start for Mason Toy. Always injured, so I'm not really going to dive into that. But American Henry, when he's fully at it. Arajon Ibrahimovic is went to Lazio on loan from Bayern. Now, Arajon Ibrahimovic did quite well at who was he at last year? Frosinone. I don't think he was always in the team. I didn't always do well, but he was alright, wasn't he? So yeah, I don't know if Lazio fancy getting a tune out of him. He actually played a lot less than I remember. So yeah, it's maybe a bit of a nothing move, but it's happened. So there you go. What else is going on here? Dorrington rated as a wonder kid on Footy Manager. That's a great sign, by the way. Matt Harrison. Hey, Quinny, as a West Ham supporter, we are linked to lots of strikers. Andre Silva, you don't want. You don't want Andre Silva. Awani, you want. Awani's like a kind of Welbeck type, isn't he? So, like, you see Graham Potter making that work quite easily. Stylistically. Andre Silva, like, just needs to go back to Benfica or Porto, wherever he came from. Fair enough, Mikey, on the James comment. Hard to argue with it, isn't it? Oh, now I seen Willian Jose had been released from Spartak, but he's went to Brazil. And Willian Jose is like one of these guys that see in La Liga. Just boiled my piss for how like he's just not that good for that level. I thought Spartak could have been quite good for him in actual fact. But yeah, he's not getting into that team, is he? Sociedad, I was not a fan of him either. It's kind of before Sorare times, I think, a little bit. Yeah, Betis, he's just been meh, hasn't he? I didn't even know he was at Wolves. Totally missed that. He could do good at a club like Bahia. That's the Man City team. He could do well. Paul Areola going to the Sounders. Again, we spoke about this at the time. But Areola, again, similar to Jesus, very, very good MLS guy. And at a better team, can play left mid, can play right mid, can play right back. Just play him wide. He's happy. Real engine, up and down. This could be a great move, great budget pick, I think, potentially. Loves a decisive. Doesn't get as many of them as he would like, I'm sure, but does get them, you know. And yeah, against a team that concede less goals. I think he's a midfielder card, isn't he, rather than a defender. He's even played up front, you know what I mean? Like, very versatile, good football player. And I think he's a good addition to the Sounders. Roberto Fernandez, don't know much about him. Karius, he's joined Schalke. Don't think we really need to talk about that too much, do we? Oh, this is actually probably one of the headline transfers we've had. Daniel Malen going to Aston Villa. Now, I think this is a great transfer. Great. Because I think Daniel Malen is shown at Dortmund that he's like a really good player. I think Bundesliga is just a little bit, or maybe it's just Dortmund. Maybe Dortmund are a bit too shit, where he's not really amplified as much because he is kind of hot and cold, doesn't he, in and out the team. But I think the Aston Villa system will work for him very well. I think he'll kind of fill that void that Moussa Diaby left. And I think Villa could really go up a level now with this in the second half of the season. I could see him making a big splash. It's also all down to him stepping up the level and all the rest of it, but he's a former Arsenal youth product, by the way, so it's not as if he's not used to English football to some extent. And I think that could be like a really good move. Really, really good move. I'll be surprised if that's not a hit, you know. He is a frustrating player to watch, Crampy. I will go along with it. Like, he has to make the step up, doesn't he? But, like, he'll fit Aston Villa a lot better than Dortmund, stylistically, I think, you know. So, some of that frustration might just naturally dissipate, you know. Been thinking a lot about the City moves, and honestly, I reckon Kusanov comes in and starts off the bat. Yeah, I think so too. I think so. I think Guardiola initially did offer a bit of that kind of slam back sweeper style that Walker gave on the right hand side, but Guardiola's been used more and more, but I've seen City anyway, offensively pushing higher up the pitch, of course. And when Diaz hasn't got that in him, Diaz is more of that, he wants to be Van Dijk, doesn't he? Wants to kind of stroll around. Akanji, kind of the same. Ake's got a bit more bite about him, but yeah, the City defence doesn't have that bite about it. And City haven't really had any bite about them defensively, really since like Fernandinho. And then throughout a lot of the kind of coming up years, Kompany always had somebody next to him that was kind of in and out, like Savic, Nastasic, Lescott, you know. There's never really always been there in defence as I'm thinking back. Maybe I'm missing somebody dead obvious, but I don't think City have really had bitey defenders for a while. And I don't think they have any at the moment. So I think he could start. Like we've seen Savio, just Doku. If Pep thinks he needs that in the team, he'll just put it in the team, you know. Ranjit Singh, a bit annoyed at this move, by the way. He's a backup keeper, but Barraza's just left. Matt Fries is now linked to Holland and Germany. If he gets minutes for City, for New York City, it's going to be woeful. Rui Silva making the move from Betis to Sporting Lisbon. We expect him to be #1 goalkeeper there. Could be a Dan all over again. And what does that mean, you might be asking? Well, a Dan all over again looks like this. This is what a Dan looks like at Sporting. You know, it's a good La Liga keeper at this. Now, this is Ruben Amorim, though they're a lot better defensively and stuff like that, right? But it's still Sporting Lisbon. They're still going to finish in the top 3 domestically of their league. Very good goalkeeper move. For a guy who was a pain in the ass goalkeeper as well. Kolarov had some really good bite. Like Kolarov, I'm a big fan of Kolarov. I think he's one of the most underrated left backs in the last 20 years in the grand scheme of like the pantheon of European football. Not exactly unhappy he is going, but we'll be interested to see how he does. Crampe on Daniel Malin. Yeah, I get that, being a Dortmund fan. And Company is the overall defender, isn't he? He has everything to his game, but I don't think he was I wouldn't call him bitey, like, and that's say that you suspect Kusanov is going to be, because yeah, he's the leader. He's not doing rash stuff. He's not like getting in faces and winding up the opposition and being that kind of that little bull terrier. Romano tweeting Tierney, deal on. No way for real. Oh, Ren plot move for Kyogo. That'd be a good move for Kyogo, to be honest with you, French football. Oh, Como have made contact for Alex Valley as the new left back. Talks on. Understand Tierney's move to Celtic can open the door. Oh. He would do really well in Italian football, Valley. Deal on. Woo, baby. Come on, Tierney. Coming home, big man. Love that. Rogers has said the plan is Tierney and Taylor. And I'm paraphrasing. But that's a big development, by the way. A big, big development. Deal on. KT is on the way. Rogers did say last night he'll hear in the next couple of days. So we might have seen Alex Valley for the last time. I might have an in-season Como stack now. With Valley, with Asandiao. I've got that classic Kakere, but, you know. Shut up, Score. Shut up. Don't even try and play me with that game. Celtic's physio is a very well paid man. Oh, great news. Great news, Charlie. Thanks for pointing that out. Thanks for catching that. Must have been right hot off the press, by the way. Hot off the press, that one. Taylor plays 95% and KT plays 0.5. You say that, I think we'll manage. I think you just need to look at what we did with Vickers. I think you can manage Tierney to play 5 games a month very well. Vickers has played 7 games in a row, and we're playing a game every 3 days. Our physio's got the magic sponge, you know. We didn't retire our magic sponge for sports science like everyone else has. We do both. The rest of these transfers now are just going to be not as exciting to me by comparison. Kukcha, one of Laird's Midgetland guys away to Sparta Prague into the Blue X territory. Unlucky for that. And yeah, I guess it's up to speed. That is brilliant, by the way. Fab Rom dropping that news on us. I don't mind Valley going to Como. Any other news? Ipswich Town going for Philogene. Rashford, fucking Ruben Amorim's the only one with a set of balls to actually kick him out, isn't it? Really good to see for Barcelona that they're keeping Araujo, because their defence is not the same without him. And Big DC, you mentioned that to me before, I think, didn't you? Oh, Ansu Fati not in the Barca squad. He's had some links. Maybe he's coming to Celtic. And Chelsea are recalling Trevor Chalobah. So that's actually a really interesting development. We looked at Lacroix earlier on. Palace seem to be in a bit of form at the moment. That might open up the door for like a Chadi Riyad. Was it Armstrong or Christie playing like 60 games a season? Probably Armstrong. Yeah, so Guy's still there. Actually, Shalba hasn't even played the last game. Chris Richards is fine. Lacroix's the man in the middle. Yeah, Shalba on the right back was their preference quite clearly over Chris Richards, I think. But this happened. No, this happened a while ago actually. This game, the 4th of Jan. But he wouldn't be able to play against Chelsea, of course. So yeah, Chris Richards probably gets back into the fold, doesn't he? Big knock-on effect. Shalba, Disasi will now leave, and Palace will likely. Yeah, Disasi now going. For anyone that holds Disasi, you want him to go back to France, don't you? Or Belgium would be brilliant. Palace likely need another guy for depth. Yeah, they maybe do. They've got Chadi Riyad, they've got Chris Richards. Yeah, they probably do need another, don't they? Rob Holding's probably not going to satisfy anyone in this situ. And yeah, Tierney deal is on. That's a buzz, by the way. He's been back at Forest for years, to be fair. Just had a 6-month break, but back now. Harry, we're talking about you and Wayne Hennessy like an hour ago, mate. Did you pause the stream? Are you listening live and what I'm saying now you're not hearing? Or have you had your phone in your pocket and you've been, let me know. Because it's a bit of a delayed response, buddy. Find it funny. Classic Tierney cards getting snapped up on the secondary market. Love that. I've got my in-season locked and loaded. And I've got my classics sitting there as well. Oh, interesting. I did my breakdown on the Celtic game last night. Yeah, I seen this as well. Laird's pointed out Sorare are going to have their own podcast. So let's see how they do with that. We're at 29 likes, guys. Come on to France. How can we not get to 31 likes? Come on. That was a great shift we've done today. Nice bit of scouting. Nice bit of card IDing, seeing what's going on in the world. I'm going to sit and chill for a minute. Let me know thoughts and feelings. And then I need to get some lunch in me before I record 0 to Hero giveaways. Oh, crikey. Now, I do plan on coming back in a couple of hours to catch up with the gallery reviews. We didn't finish on Monday. So, if you're one of those 4 or 5 people, stay tuned for that. We'll be back later today. Maybe around the 4 o'clock mark, give or take. And I need to do 0 to Hero today as well. So, yeah, I've got a wee bit left to do before the shift is over. And, anything else I'm thinking or feeling? We've got a reaction video, well, a proper, digest, as we spoke about earlier. That'll be out whenever it's whenever it's edited, sorry. And, yeah. You guessed Engels 89. Oh, I don't think you hit with that, mate. Let's see how it goes with the members as well. So yeah, I'll probably announce the winners of the members giveaway. Like I'll post it and stuff like that, let you know. But I'll probably record that in 0 to Hero. So yeah, when that video comes out, it'll be after the reaction video. So if the reaction video comes out today, it'll be out tomorrow. And if the reaction video goes out tomorrow, it'll be out Friday. 0 to Hero, but watch out for it when it comes. Tomorrow we'll be back to build lineups for the channel members on a Thursday, and I'll book that stream later today so you know when it will be time wise. Friday we've got the deadline show, and by the way, Friday night for Go Fuck Friday should be a belter. Do we try and get PSU onto it and batter them? Should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a full house again. I'm sure we'll have all the usual suspects and maybe 1 or 2 new faces in it as well, but it's going to be a busy week, guys. So thanks to everyone that's been joining us on all the live shows that we've had so far this week and the videos that have been going out. And we'll have an MFL video to go out this week as well, so look forward to doing that and getting you up to speed. And yeah, Harry's not responded to me, so I think Harry must have paused the stream, got on with his day, and then he's just pressed play or whatever he's picked up from where he left off. Have those collections been handful for jerseys? Heard that some, yeah. So Alex, Strax, I got a Girona signed jersey thanks to my collection. I've not had any Celtic or New York. Not had anything else actually. To be honest, I've only had the Girona one. But I have got like mystery jerseys out of the club shop and stuff like that. I'm trying to think if I have had anything. I'm forgetting. No, I bought a Wirtz signed shirt myself when I won Wirtz. Oh, and there's Y Scout emailing me, trying to give me a wee offer to get us back on it. Let me see how we do with that. Jay's dropping pictures in the chat. You know what he's been doing, don't you? He's been buying Tierney's. Oh, the images are loading. You know he's bought Tierney's, don't you? Oh, no, he's just sharing the things. That's good. So many headaches with lineups. Don't know if I should prioritise special or not. I'll give you a wee peek. I've prioritised special for my contender guys that can't play contenders. I've not got keepers. So I've only got Scottish keepers. But I went with this. Classic Berardi end season Shaqiri. Asandiao at home on a Monday night. Udinese not great, but he's at home and he's a guy with a decisive does 70. That's kind of what you want. And then Elias Baum at home. Hope does well. Lasseneur against Nods. Happy enough with that. But yeah, buzzing guys. I look forward to catching you later on for the members catch-up stream. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the content that goes out. Wish me luck with my lunch. Stay out of trouble. And I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.